All right, good afternoon. It is November 18th, 2021. And today you can see we pretty much had a range day. We hit the measured move. Oh wait, no, we came a little bit short of the measured move of the range. So yeah, let's see if I drag this out, does it have any? Okay, you can see we got a touch right here. But oh, and did we get a break? The overshoot, yep, the overshoot just led to a break. And so, you know what? I wish I had that drawn out, because then I would have really liked this entry. Maybe not, though, because you're going into that trend channel. But anyway, overshoot did lead to a break. I'll leave the channel right there. And let's take a look at these trades that I have marked. I don't think I missed anything, but we'll see. You had to be pretty patient this morning. I think first trade came like half an hour after the open, looks like, or at least half. First trade that I saw. So we started off in this yellow channel, and you get a first, second entry short. I don't think we were sure about that channel just yet at that point. But I put it right here, and it looked like we were getting some touches off the midline. So let's look at those two bars, and let me make this channel a little smaller. So that might be it right there, and then that makes this touch hit the bottom of the channel. So that actually might be it. I do like that. But yeah, that's a first entry, second entry. Only reason I marked that as aggressive is because, you know, we got some dojis, and this is congestion. So it was a bit aggressive. I didn't have the guts to take that. I didn't want to take that. I sat on my hands for that one. We come down here, hit the bottom of the channel, and we form congestion again. And you get a first entry, second entry, but unfortunately that's not the high of the swing. If it was, I probably would have taken that, even though we got a couple dojis here. And here and here. So that is definitely high risk, but anyway, you get one leg up, two legs up, and then we get a break of this yellow channel, and we get a leg down, and this is congestion, so this is a breakout, but it's a with trend breakout. But we get a first entry, second entry failure. That's a breakout pullback. I like that. We've been trending down. Let me return back to this one. The reason I wasn't looking for a long here is because this bar right here was like 1 a.m. and this bar was like what, like 6:15 or something like that. So prices had been making lower highs and lower lows for 5 hours at that point. So that's why I wasn't looking for a new high. Anyway, back to this failure. This was a pretty good setup. I like this. It's a breakout pullback. It looks like it's at the top of this micro range. But unfortunately, all you get out of this is a scalp. But you get an even better setup right after that for a first, second entry short. And yeah, if you took that, that's the trade of the day. You should probably... Looks like you should get a runner off that. Let's check it out. Let's call it 88.50. So, wow, yeah, you get a 9 point. That's a pretty fast 9-point move right there. This bigger. So I didn't see a measured move in here. I'm sure there probably is one, but this leg, which was the closest thing I saw, you can see we get a break of the this channel down before that, and then once we hit the measured move, price kind of goes sideways, and that's a pretty big move down, and so you might expect it to hit the measured move of the range too. We make this double bottom though, and you get a first entry, second entry. If you want to enter that, maybe you would, but signal bar is no good really, so I marked it as aggressive. And we come like a tick or two short of that measured move, and we get a small bounce. It takes it a while to get above the EMA, but I think you get this first failed second entry short. I think with that bullish bar like that, I think it's worth a shot. This is definitely aggressive. I don't like failures that aren't clearly off the trend line, but this closes on its high, and it's definitely aggressive because look at these bars overlapping here, but and it's the first time it's been above the EMA in a while. But I like that for an aggressive move. And if you look at this as a new low, like this is a double bottom, you might look at it like that. You get a first entry, failed second entry right here. I don't like that. It's pretty far from the EMA, but that would have gotten you a scalp. Now we just formed this congestion, and we broke up into this congestion, so that the bias is up. You get a oh, you know what? That's actually a second entry too. So you get this first entry, second entry, but it's also, I wanted to talk about this because it's a failed second entry short, but I just don't like going into those highs, and this feels really congestive. But you might consider that. Did that even get you a scalp? 79, 75. No, so that's probably a 4-tick failure. Yeah, I mean, like, this is just congestion. It's very congestive. But it looks kind of tempting. The trend channel might be closer to this. Yeah, I don't know what. Maybe I drew it off this swing for a reason. But yeah, I just don't think you can enter that in congestion. It's a doji in congestion. Just not a good idea. You can see this. You might look at this as a new high. First entry, failed second entry, long right here. But I don't really like that. This is just way too congestive, and Max says not to take failures in congestion. Plus, it looks like the bias is up, so which it is. We make this low, and you get a first entry, failed second entry short right here, but I'm not taking that because that's too far from the EMA. We make this leg up, so if you drag this up here, look for a measured move. We hit that measured move, which is right at the midline of the overnight highs and lows. I would look at this as a new low, pretty much like a double bottom here, and you get a first entry, failed second entry. But that's an overshoot of the channel I was looking at. It's an overshoot, and it's far from the EMA, so I wouldn't take it. It was a strong trend up, though. Then we form this congestion, and you get a first entry, second entry. And that's off the trend line. But we got an overshoot. It's very congestive. I didn't want to take that. And at this point is when I was like, all right, let me just practice or switch to my practice account, because I don't like any of these setups, and I don't want to get tempted to take them. But that would have been a great trade. It would have worked out. And then we get this off the trend line. I think, yeah, my trend line was pretty sure it was like this. And I think this is a failed second entry first. Yeah, failed second entry short. So it's off the trend line, but I don't know. I didn't like it. But when it went above the opening price, this would be my next target. Is the overnight highs. And that's another reason I didn't want to enter on this, is because we got that touch of the opening price, and you're going long into that. But anyway, then we make this leg down, and there's no failure in here. Unfortunately, you get a first entry here and a second entry, but you might look at that as that this is a double top, And this is just too far from the EMA. And then we get a break. You get a first entry, failed second entry. And I like it with how bullish that is. I had an interruption, but yeah. First, oh, okay, so the failure is actually here. Okay, so here's what I was looking at. And the reason this is marked blue is this is a first, second entry long with a great signal bar. The first failed second entry right here, it's below the EMA, so we don't like that. So this is also kind of like, it's kind of like a higher low. I don't know if you can consider higher lows, but it also looks like it's off a short-term trend channel. And this looked and still looks very valid. I'm sure that channel is valid, but it just looked congestive at this point when we weren't going too high. But this gets you a nice scalp. And we're really just going sideways. We get this leg down. This is a counter trend break. We broke up into this congestion. And this is the break of our longer term channel as well. So you get this overshoot, and that leads to an overshoot up here. And let's see, you get this is just a higher low. Just a higher low. This is super aggressive, but I just like the way it looked, especially since we had this counter trend break. I'm expecting this to go to the highs, and that's what it did. And you get this second entry short, which is far from the EMA, which looks good, but the fact that we had this counter trend break, that usually means we're going to break that far in the other direction, and it looks like that is almost exactly how much we broke. So yeah, a couple ticks shy of that so far. But after you have the break of this short-term channel, you might go short here, expecting prices to break back in, and all you get out of that is a scalp, though. This is just, I don't know, this is too congestive right here. So that's what I saw for today. The only trade I took today was right here. This failure. So I do like this trade. We were trending down. We had a break, and we did have a move to a new low. So that might keep someone out. But I like that this was off the EMA. It was a good setup for a failure. I also like that this looked like it was back into congestion, and you get a quick point or two out of that. So I didn't like the way I was thinking. I'm glad I walked away after that. But anyway, that's what I saw for today, and I'll be back tomorrow.